occupied with me.
I'll be occupied, yeah.
Occupied.
Who's that?
You've been occupied in the villa, so what you saying you can fill that role?
I'm thinking this could be lit.
You think so?
Yeah, I do think so.
Yeah, you get a good feeling.
Yeah, I do.
I think so too.
I'm sorry, but am I the only one who thinks that production dropped the ball? They really did. In the sense that they could have continued with TV Gold had they sent different people to the sleepover, because I know, yes, the participants chose, but they should have sent my all-star crew would have been Dijon, obviously, with Harry, because those two feed off each other like crazy. And then for the girls, I would have sent in Tony and Yasmin, and that would have been TV Gold. Megan would have had chickens, goats, cows, and everything, because she'd be worried about Dijon, Tony, and Yasmin being in the same place, but also should have had to worry about the bombshells coming in. That would have been amazing. Yes, the villa would have been boring, but the storyline in the villa is still boring, so it doesn't make sense why Harry was kept back. And then Emily. If Delusional was a person, you would be it. And also, what's her name? Meg. The hypocrisy. After the hell she gave Yasmin and Harry for hiding in the hideaway and kissing, she goes to the terrace and does exactly the same. Make that make sense? Anyway, hey there. Thanks for stopping by. Welcome to my channel. If you're new here, don't forget to subscribe. Click the like button, turn on the notification bell for when I upload new videos, and definitely leave a comment. In this episode, I'll be reviewing Love Island UK Season 12, Episode 15. I'm just going to say it. Personally, I feel like the producers dropped the ball. They dropped the ball in who they sent to the sleepover. Because I personally feel like they should have sent, yes, Dijon should have gone, but they should have gone with Harry. They should have sent Yasmin, and then they could have sent somebody else. Even Shakira. That would have been TV Gold. We wouldn't have needed to watch the main villa. We would have just been entertained with watching, the sleepover, because they would have been a menace. The problem they have is you have Helena is there, Emily is there, and they're going to report to Megan whatever Dijon does, so Dijon will have to tame himself. And Harry's not there for Dijon and him to feed off each other. So it's really sad that they didn't send them there. Anyway, you have everyone in the main villa. They're sort of sitting around wondering what's happened to the 5 people that have been told the car's waiting outside. And then someone notices the lights in the distance, and they all realize that, oh, the sleepover is open. So they're sort of peeking and wanting to see who's there. You have Meg saying she can see Dijon at the fire pit, and it's like, oh my God, she must be pooping herself, because we know how jealous she can be. Anyway, the new arrivals, the bombshells, are sitting around the fire pit. They're just sort of trying to prop each other up and tell each other, we're going to mess things up, we're going to whatever, separate couples. And it's like, Yasmin is there. Unless one of you can feed off Yasmin, and we can have you and Yasmin versus Harry and Dijon, then that villa will be in smoke, and that would be TV Gold. So I don't know. I can't wait to see what happens. They come out, so they all come out, Emily, Helena, Dijon, and Romel, and they sit down with the bombshells and have conversations. Personally, I really didn't see it. It's going to be boring. The sleepover will be boring because the conversation is very tame. The conversations that are being had, nothing is leading anywhere. Or maybe we will see more when they sort of separate into individual groups. You get the introductions, and everyone can already see who's sort of called, who they're meant to couple up with. It's revealed that Will has called for Emily, Jojo has called for Helena, obviously, and then with the girls, you had Romel be confused as to who really had wanted to see him. I think he initially went in for Caprice, and then he was told, no, it's Poppy who's there for him. And it's like, oh my God, this would have been TV Gold had Harry been there, had Yasmin been there. They could have even have brought Tony. That would have been amazing. The problem is people are so connected, so people are afraid to do anything because their partner's spy is there. So I can't wait to see what happens. You then have Shakira have a conversation with Harry. She's telling him about the conversation she had with Meg about Meg's feelings towards Connor. Meg is gone. I'm sorry, Meg is gone. No matter what this man says, Meg is gone. Meg has been waiting her chance. And I think she's realized, especially in the games, that she is in a boring couple and her couple is not going anywhere and her couple is not getting a clout. And I think this is why she's making moves to try and sort of give herself some sort of airtime, because she's thinking maybe I'm not getting any airtime. Besides that, I think she really likes Connor. Connor looks a lot better than he did on day one. Maybe it's because we're used to his face. I don't know. As soon as Harry hears the gossip, he runs down with it. So you have, the other islanders sitting at the daybeds, and Al-Lima is stressed because Al-Lima doesn't know what's happening. She's worried about her partner. And so all the guys were trying to reassure her that Romel is not like that. He's a well thought out man. And it's like, seriously, are we trying to say that Romel is not going to pull a Dijon? The problem is that Romel and Dijon haven't been the closest of friends in the villa, but had they been the closest of friends, they would have run that place ragged. They wouldn't have cared about Helena. They would have faced the consequences when they came back. So I like that the boys were trying to pacify her and sort of reassure her in regards to her connection. You have, Megan and Connor go for a chat, and those two are smitten. Those two people are smitten. They're looking for a way for Meg to untangle herself from Tony. Otherwise, they're smitten. They're ready to go. And I wouldn't be surprised if they stay together until either they leave the villa or until the end of the series, because they really seem smitten. You have Meg constantly looking at his lips. I think he gives her the excitement that Tony doesn't give her. I think Tony, yes, is loyal, he's whatever, but I think he's too immature for her, and this is why she likes someone who comes with a bit of experience, someone in the form of Connor. Harry runs and pulls Tommy for a chat. He tells him what he's been told by Shakira. And it's like, Harry, you're bored. You're looking for drama. You're bored. Because there's no need for you to be a parrot for this man who's been outing you every chance you've confided in him. So Harry reveals what was said and the fact that, Connor is not the only one in this situation. It's not like he's forcing things. Meg is just giving as good as she's getting. So it's a two-way thing. It's not like Connor is doing all the pushing and she's just sitting there. And I don't think Tommy wanted to accept that, because then Connor came down and sat with him and they were having a conversation. And so Harry left and left them to speak. And Connor sort of saying, I thought I'll just have a word with you just to let you know that things are progressing with Megan. For him to say, you've been disrespectful. Why did you touch her leg? She's not your child. She's a grown woman. She can tell him to stop if she doesn't want it. She can. You don't need to speak to her. And you can't say everyone is disrespecting you. Why are you clashing with everybody else? This should say something about your partner, because at the end of the day, you clashed with Shay because you said Shay was forcing himself onto this girl. Now you're clashing with Connor because you say Connor is going after this girl. This girl really might not be that into you. She might only be staying with you because she thinks you're a security blanket, like Matilda stayed with Sean. So just be mindful. Personally, I don't understand why we're still watching this Megan and Tommy and Connor situation. This is why I say Harry should have gone with Dijon to the other villa. That way, we would have had entertainment and we wouldn't need to watch this nonsense. Because after venting to Connor, you have Tommy then pull Megan for a chat, and he's trying to impress her by telling her everything that he said to Connor and how he feels disrespected. And it's like, you've known this girl for 2 weeks. She's not your girlfriend, buddy. She's not your girlfriend. You do not have any say over what she does, because she's still exploring a connection with you, just like she's exploring another connection with somebody else. Nobody owes you any allegiance outside of Meg, because she's the one in the couple with you. Connor can do whatever he wants. He can kiss her, he can touch her, he can do whatever he wants. As long as she consents, he can do what she wants. You are not owed any respect when it comes to that, because you're just in a couple. You're not her boyfriend, you're not her parent, you are not her guardian. So please sit down. I didn't like that. So after this back and forth, you have the guys, you have Shay, Connor, and Ben. They're talking, they're saying, oh my god, something's kicking off. Apparently Harry said something. And so after that conversation, you then go back to the sleepover and you have Helena talking to Jojo. And personally, I don't know. I really don't know. And I don't get it. I don't understand why these girls can't see that this is their option to sort of have a relationship. It comes across to me more as people are more worried about staying in the villa and being relevant than they are about looking for love. I think he comes across as a great guy. Jojo, I think he does come across as a gay guy, and I don't get. And he's good looking. They have a history whereby they're both, cabin crew, so that they understand each other on that. And I was a bit put off by how dismissive, Helena came across. She didn't really seem keen on him, and it's like Harry's not keen on you. Harry's keen on using you as a pawn in his game, but he's not really that keen on you. You have Dijon speaking to Caprice. Caprice is giddy. Caprice is giddy, and Dijon is enjoying the attention because of the way he was sitting, sort of giving her his side view, and then he actually turned to look at her. But then she brought up this situation about getting married. They spoke about family. I feel like they spoke about more than we've heard him speak about with Megan, as far as I'm concerned. I think the only problem is his sidekick is not there, or his partner in crime is not there, and is worried that Emily and Helena might go and report, or there might be a camera, a prompter for the people at the villa to see. I think this is why he's trying to be reserved and make sure that he minds his p's and q's. And then, as a person who would say Emily's delusional. Connor has literally, outside of taking a guy and saying to Emily, "Here, I've brought someone for you to chat with," I don't know what else she wants. He has told her, "Yes, I'm in a couple with you so that I stay safe in the villa, but explore connections." And so the audacity for her not to entertain Will doesn't make sense to me. It really doesn't make sense. The fact that she's very sort of standoffish, one would assume that since Connor is exploring connections with other people, she would try and explore connections with somebody else. Maybe it's time for her to go home. That way, Tony can get peace. Romel, this is the most I've heard him speak. He seems smitten with Poppy. The fact that, he says he's not been entertained or he's not been kept busy, it's like, so which is it? Is Al-Lima hard work or what? Because your friend said she was hard work, but you're saying she hasn't kept you busy. So what has she done to you? What have you been doing all this time? I didn't quite get that. And I didn't like that because I felt like it was sort of talking down on his partner. Al-Lima is busy speaking to Yasmin and Tony. She's saying, I had a great conversation with him before he left, and I'm now worried now that he's gone whether things will change. And it's like you should see the excitement on his face, the fact that he's actually holding the girl's hand. Yeah, she was nervous, she was shaking, so it was good for him to sort of calm her down and just steady her. But still, he seemed really keen on her. For Dijon is always going to be Dijon. For him to feed grapes to Caprice, Dijon is a menace. He is a menace, and I can't wait for him to get to his buddy and then see what happens once they're united. Because the only thing that will stop him is Megan. I wish we could send home Megan and Helena. That way, Dijon and Harry could be let loose and they could do as they please, and they wouldn't be dumped until the very end. Would really be entertained. You then have a conversation between Helena and Emily saying, I spoke to Will, it wasn't there, he's not like Connor, there's nothing there. And it's like, buddy, if Helena was your friend, she would tell you that you need to work harder for this because you have no other option. Megan, your friend, is making inroads. So if I were you, I would work hard on this to make sure that it actually succeeds. Otherwise, you're going to remain single because your guy seems to be making moves to move on with somebody else. So I don't get what she doesn't understand and why she doesn't make the moves necessary in order for her to explore connections with other people, because it's definitely over between her and Connor. I can see that. Helena, on her part, said she enjoyed her chat with, Jojo, but she didn't sort of hint that she was over. Well, initially she said, I'm still hurt because it's been 2 days with Harry. You did the same thing to Shakira and you didn't care. So I have no empathy for you. Back at the villa, you have, the guys are just, well, Harry's been called. He's been called out for the fact that, he was involved in this gossip. You had Megan corner him and sort of ask him, what were you saying? Everybody wants to know what you were saying. And it's like, but you did say it, though. You were blushing. You were seen to be blushing. She actually asked Shakira as well, Shakira, what did you say? Blah. And it's like, it's not that big a deal. What did you think when you went to talk to them? Why didn't you speak to Megan? If you wanted your secret kept, you decided to go and speak to people that you're not friends with and expected them to hold on to your secret when you don't hold on to their secrets. What did you expect? I don't get it, and I don't hold Shakira accountable for whatever Harry did, because the islanders get ready for the night, and you have Meg is complaining to Harry that why did you say what you said, blah blah. And he said, "Well, I was looking out for my boy." And it's like, well, Harry was bored. One, two, your boy has been passing on gossip about everybody else. You and your boy actually. So why not let him pass gossip about the two of you and entertain the rest of the villa? You can handle it. Um, Everybody goes to bed, and surprisingly, in the sleepover, Dijon and Caprice didn't share a bed. Obviously, Emily, we knew she wasn't going to share a bed with that man because she said she didn't like that man. But hey, it is what it is. In the main villa, everybody else gets into bed, and then you have this clash between Meg and Tommy in bed, where she's trying to make it seem like everybody else is exaggerating what was said, and he needs to respect her, or he needs to believe her. And then Tommy's going on about respect, and it's like, buddy, this is Love Island. If you want respect, go home. You'll get respect at home, but you will never get respect on Love Island. And you can't expect respect when you don't give it, because the way you spoke to Shay is why people are behaving the way they're behaving, because nobody feels they owe you anything, and they don't want to be dealing with your messy self trying to prove your manhood to your girl. So in the morning, the islanders wake up. Obviously, the people in the villa are nervous because they're worried about their partners and how they sort of behaved with the new bombshells that they're with. In the sleepover, Dijon is excited to wake up. And so it's really sad that Caprice didn't share a bed with him. I would have loved to see how that came along, how the decision to not share a bed, because they did have a conversation about sharing a bed, but then we never heard why they didn't share a bed. Anyway, everybody gets ready. They go for debriefings. And I thought we'd stop the debriefings, but hey, we have to debrief about this Tommy Connor and Meg situation. She's still in her feelings because she feels like, Tommy should have listened to her. He shouldn't have listened to Harry. Why would he believe Harry over her? And it's like, maybe because they're buds, and maybe because, in every 10 lies that Harry tells, one is the truth. So, hey, I didn't get the big deal. For Tommy to cry, that's not his girl, though. That's not his girl. He's too territorial. He's suffering from the Sean Sweetman syndrome, in the sense that he's worried that if he loses Meg, nobody else is going to want to couple up with him. And that's the truth. No one is going to want to couple up with him unless Poppy or Caprice decides to couple up with him for the sake of staying in the villa. I wish he could go home. I really wish he could go home because I'm tired of his tantrums. You have Helena having a conversation with Jojo. They really seemed cute. I hope she gives him the time of day. They spoke about their sleep, how they slept, and whatever. But they were cuddling in bed, though, so I don't get how he says he didn't sleep. Didn't she recognize that he was still awake? I didn't quite get that, and I didn't understand. They do make a cute couple, if you're saying that. Dijon is busy playing Usher. He's busy feeding strawberries to Caprice. I think Dijon likes Caprice, but at the same time, he's worried about how that will come across. I think he feels like Megan is his only ticket to stay in the villa, but he doesn't realize that his ticket to stay in the villa is Harry and their menace. And the love triangle that they are in, Harry, him, and Yasmin. The three of them are the reason why he will stay in the villa as long as we all still like him and he still gets the edits that he's getting till the very end. I like how flirty they are. I think she is a better option. I haven't seen much of her, but I actually think Caprice is a better option to Megan. But that's just my opinion. You have Emily sort of having a conversation with well, which seemed more like an interview, because she was asking him, how did you grow up? What are your plans? And he spoke about growing up on a farm and wanting to, in 5 years' time, settle back on the farm so that he can raise his family there. And she didn't really seem interested in him. And it's like, girl, your guy is kissing someone. You need to make moves. With Romel and Poppy, I'm worried that Romel is gone. I really am worried. And if he's gone, what's going to happen to my girl Al-Lima? I don't think they would want to eliminate her because they always need a person of color in the villa, and she is that unless they count Shakira. So I hope she couples up with someone, or I hope they bring her a bombshell for herself. Romel is smitten. He appears smitten, or maybe he's just putting on an act. I don't know. Meg then goes for a chat with Harry, and Harry is saying, I'm not trying to take sides and I'm not trying to stir the pot, but I just felt like it was important for me to tell my friend. And then he also revealed that, Tommy cried, and it's like, what's the big deal? Whoop de doo. Meg and Tommy have been spreading other people's business and have been involving themselves in other people's business. Now that the shoe is on the other foot, they're crying wolf. but they have to deal with it. He has to put on his big boy pants. There's no need for him to cry. Either have reason, go and speak to another girl, or pack your bags and go home. No one is holding you back if you want to go home. You then have Connor pull Meg for a chat. That was slick. They pulled her for a chat. She was excited to be pulled for a chat. She doesn't see how she behaves. This is what people are calling out, that she is giddy. She appears very excited when he calls her. And at the end of the day, Emily's not there to stop her and him from doing whatever she wants. So he then suggested the terrace, and she was ready to go. Tommy wasn't feeling that. He wasn't happy about the terrace. And it's like, well, she's not your girlfriend. She's shown you that, it's not that deep. It's not that serious. So you need to decide, do you want to continue to sit there and wallow, or do you want to explore connections with other people? They went to the terrace. She really seemed giddy. She actually initiated the kiss. This is what I don't get. When you have Tommy complaining bitterly that people are sticking it on his girl, when she is the one who's initiating it, and she seems to enjoy the kiss, and surprise, surprise, she had two kisses. So let's have another game where we confirm that she really actually had two kisses, not just the one. And poor Tommy is going to lose his rag. In the meantime, you have Tommy approach Al-Lima and Megan, and he's busy moaning about the fact that, oh, I really don't know what to do because she's upset with me, but I feel some type of way. I feel disrespected. If you want to feel respected, go home. That's it. Just go home, find your person, they will respect you, and you'll move on with life. But as long as you're in the villa, respect goes out the window, because people are there to explore connections, and they're going to explore connections with whoever they want to explore with. And it's up to you to deal with whether you want to stay in it or whether you want to go home. So you have Helena talking to Emily at the sleepover, and she is saying, she really likes Jojo. She thinks he's good looking, but there is no immediate spark like she had with Harry. And it's like, Madame, you are delusional. You're delulu. You and Emily are both delulu. And for her to feed Emily the lie that, oh, maybe Connor is sitting there and is thinking of you and is changing his mind to say, oh, maybe I really need to focus on Emily. No, he's not. He is making out with your best friend. He's playing tinsel hockey, but he's not thinking of you. We haven't heard him say anything about you or seem that bothered that you're gone. So the idea that you are sitting there and you're crying and you're worrying your head off about someone who's not thinking about you doesn't make sense. I really don't get it, and I don't understand why she doesn't make moves to sort of explore with other people. You have Dijon and Romel having a debrief, and Dijon is saying, he really likes Caprice. He thinks there could be something there, and he also really likes Meg, so he doesn't know where he stands. Romel is smitten with Poppy because he said she's not normally. This is the first man I've heard whose love language is not physical touch, because he said he's not normally a touchy-feely person, but with Poppy, she's making him want to do that. And it's like, but we have seen you touchy-feely with Al-Lima, so are you saying you're just doing that so that you could stay comfortable until your person walked into the villa? I didn't like that. I really didn't like that. I thought that was in poor taste. It seemed as soon as he arrived at the sleepover, he decided to show his ass out, and he decided to show who he really is, because there was no need for that. There really wasn't. That's disrespectful. Back at the main villa, you have the guys talking, and Connor. You have Connor, Harry, and Shay, and Connor is sort of saying it's a bit uncomfortable that he really likes his connection with Meg, but also he is friends with Tommy, so he's having to sort of choose between his friendship and the person that he likes, and he doesn't want to feel bad if he leaves without exploring that. And so the guys are telling him, yes, it's important to have friends, but at the end of the day, you can't put your friendship with Tommy over, finding your person. You have to do what's in your best interest. And so, I don't know. I really don't get why Tommy feels offended and feels aggrieved. This is not your girlfriend, buddy. You don't own her. You didn't bring her into the villa. She was already there when you walked in. So allow somebody else to explore a connection. If she's yours, she'll come back. If she's not, she's gone. And I think she's going to be gone. He might end up, as I've said before, with someone like Poppy or Emily, but I don't think he's going to be able to sort of win Megan back, because Connor gives her the excitement that she needs. Once Harry leaves, you have Connor reveal to Shay that, yeah, we did share a kiss. I didn't want Harry to know. I think because he knows as soon as he tells Harry, he's going to run with it to Tommy. So he's trying to sort of tell a friend that he trusts that this is what has happened. And it's like, wow, it is what it is. I think production had called Harry to get a phone because apparently it seems like they always don't carry their phones unless they are told to carry their phones. So Harry comes back, he wants to sit in the middle. I think Harry is bored. He really is bored. And I think because he was even asked at one point that do you miss, the Helena, and he went D. And I also miss Helena. The girls tried to convince him that he's better off with Helena than it is with Shakira. But I think, yes, they said Shakira brings out the maturity in him, but I think Shakira is still way better for him than Helena. Anyway, while he's sitting outside, you have Harry receive a message. The message reads, Islanders, Dijon, Emily, Helena, and Romel have gone for a sleepover. Looks like they're having fun. Dot, dot, dot. And everyone was taken aback, like, what does that mean? What do they mean that, they're having fun? And then a message came in, it was one video. And you could tell Harry was nervous. I think if he had the opportunity to view it before everybody else, he would have done that because he really seems very protective over Dijon. And so then we got to see the introductions. Romel's was terrible because he said, I'm open and, and nobody's been keeping me busy. So I'm open to you keeping me busy. And it's like, wow, it is what it is. Connor didn't even seem bothered by Emily's conversation. He didn't seem that phased. Even Harry didn't seem as phased. I feel like Megan over exaggerated her reaction. It wasn't necessary. The person who has something to worry about is Al-Lima. At the moment, with the Dijon, we haven't really seen much. Yes, he seems to really like her, but I think he was trying to maintain his P's and Q's. And he's gone on a date. He can't sit there and start preaching the Bible. He has to flirt. He's on a date. So the idea that this woman is now crying because she says, he always flirts, he always does this to me. If you don't like him, look for somebody else. There are new guys coming in. Go for one of them. You're not being forced to stay with Dijon. It's not a must for you to stay in that couple. So stay at your own will, but know that there's going to be consequences. Anyway, thanks guys for watching. Please don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. And click the link in my video to watch my review from episode 14. Bye guys.